World Regions Project by Jacob Abraham. Canada and the United States. Regions of the United States are taken over by a vast amount of land in different forms. The northeast of the United States is taken over by forests and woodland areas. The south is taken over by vast amounts of plains that have fertile soil. The west is taken over by deserts and other arid climates. Canada has areas that are taken over by tundra climates and woodland forests. Not all parts of Canada are populated, same with the United States. Major cities like Toronto, Edmonton, or Montreal are the most populated cities in Canada. In the United States, the most populated cities are New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago. When you look at a population pyramid of the United States and Canada, you can tell that those countries are developed due to the stable populations. The United States is a democratic country. Our government gives its citizens voting privileges to elect their leaders. Canada has a prime minister and is a branch of Britain and France. Our economy is a free enterprise. There is no government interference when it comes to delivery of goods and services. Same goes for Canada too. There is a vast amount of cultural diversity from all walks of life brought onto the United States and Canada. There is also a lot of racial diversity too. Most of the popular cultures started from here in America. Through social media and other communication networks, it has diffused to all around the world. Latin America. There are a lot of countries with geological features in South America that make it diverse. There are the Andes mountain range, which covers most of the country of Chile. There are also a lot of volcanic eruptions and earthquakes within Chile. There are also the tropical rainforests in Brazil that are all full of life. Cities in South America that are the most populated are Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. There are also cities that are not as populated in South America. When you look at a population pyramid of most of the countries in Latin America, you can tell that some countries are not as developed. There are some countries in Latin America, like Cuba, where dictatorship is still practiced. Most of Latin America is democratic. Cuba, the country with dictatorship, is also a country that has a communist economy. Countries like Venezuela are socialist. The rest of the countries are free enterprise. In Latin America, there are a lot of countries with different cultural celebrations. Like Mexico has Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, which is a celebration honoring the dead family members. This is also a local culture in Latin America. There are also popular cultures in most of the populated regions. Europe and Russia. There are a vast amount of mountain ranges and valleys that cover all around Europe and Russia. The Swiss Alps is a large range of mountains that tower all around Europe. A lot of European cities are well known all around the world, and the most populated are the major cities like London, Paris, and Moscow. On a population pyramid, the populations are evened out, and you can tell that most European countries are developed. Some countries in Europe, such as Britain, are under constitutional monarch, where there is a king or a queen ruling, but their power is limited. In Italy, there is the Vatican. The Vatican is under theocracy because the Vatican is under the Catholic Church's rule. The economy of most European countries are of the free enterprise. Religions like Catholicism and Protestantism play major factors in how European countries are like. A lot of popular cultures originate in Europe, like music and fashion. Africa. There are many different landforms that are in Africa. Mount Kilimanjaro is one of the largest mountains in the world and is located in Africa. Africa is covered with arid climate regions to forest climate regions. When you look at a demographic transition model of Africa, you can tell that most of the African countries are not as developed. And also when you look at the population pyramid of Africa, you can see that there are a lot more people between the ages of 0 to 14 than all the other age groups. This means that the countries are not as developed and they have an uncontrolled population. A lot of African countries used to be under oligarchy, where there would be militia rule over the country. Now more of the countries have become democratic, but there are also some countries like Somalia where there is anarchy. Africa is a country that is rich with a lot of minerals, and yet their gross national income is very low. South Africa and some other countries are known to have a free enterprise. Africa is diverse by having a lot of cultures, like Antism, where you would pray to the spirits. Some parts of Africa, like South Africa, have popular cultures. Southwest and Central Asia. In Southwest and Central Asia, the area can be very humid or very arid. There are deserts in this part of the world. There are also high mountain ranges like the Himalayas too. There is a lot of people that live near the lakes and the seas in this area. On the population pyramid, you can tell that by the population count of the age groups, they decline as the age groups get older. So you can tell that some of these countries are not as developed. Some countries in the Middle East are ruled by monarchs, while other countries like India are under democracy. Most of the Middle Eastern countries make their economy by their oil reserves. Also, the Middle East has a socialist economy with most of their government leaders in charge of their oil industries. Other countries like India are free enterprise. The Southwest and Central Asia countries have both local and popular culture. Local being the people of the country wearing cultural clothes and having their own traditions. Popular being the expansion of pop culture in the areas like technology and innovation. Monsoon Asia. The Monsoon Asia countries are full of forests. Most of the populations in the Asian countries live in urban areas. The rural population is tending to decline. When you look at a population of the countries on the population pyramid, the populations are even and there are no big age gaps. But when you look at the demographic transition model, you can see that the populations will decrease as seen for countries like Japan and China. The countries of Monsoon Asia mostly tend to be communist. The countries of Monsoon Asia have an economy that is to produce cheap goods for the world. The economy of the countries are socialist. In the most populated cities such as Shanghai, Bangkok, and Tokyo, there are a lot of popular cultures, while in the rural and less populated area, there are local cultures. Oceania and Antarctica. In these countries, the physical geography can vary from different parts of the regions. In Antarctica, it's cold with ice caps. In the country of Australia, there can be humid, tropical in one region, and in the other region, it can be hot and arid. Most of the populations in these countries lie in Australia and New Zealand. Only cities near bodies of water are the most populated, because that is where there is the most humid temperatures to live in, unlike an Australian desert. Also, these countries are more developed due to the evened out populations on the population pyramid. The countries are all a branch of Britain. The countries are all free enterprise. These countries have popular cultures since they are branches of countries that also have popular cultures.